You know how some manga titles completely throw you off? Like this one, Destroy Humans, They Can't Be Regenerated. It sounds like it should be about aliens, explosions, or some kind of end-of-world battle with giant robots. But instead of grim and intense, we get something that's actually about teenagers hanging out in late 90s Tokyo. Stressing about school, fumbling through romance, playing Magic the Gathering in those little gaming shops we all remember. No aliens, no apocalypse, no Seto Kaiba in big shoulder pads, and no Yugi Boy. Just life. Real life. And it's honestly one of the most nostalgic, heartfelt slice of life mangas I've picked up in a long time. Volume 4 just came out in English, and I have to say this series is great. You start reading expecting one thing, and before you know it, you're emotionally invested in kids buying booster packs and worrying about their crushes, and I kinda love it. Welcome to this episode of The Bald Book Geek. I am Darv James, and let's get into it. Remember to like, subscribe, and tell me what you think in the comments. I'm also going to mention that you can support this weird little corner of the internet simply by joining my Patreon, my Substack, or becoming a channel member. There's also some exclusive content there you won't get anywhere else. Okay, so here's the setup. The story takes place from 1998 to the turn of the millennium, and for full thing, I know how the series ends. I've read them all in Japanese, and there will be no spoilers. The main characters are just teenagers in Tokyo, and the manga is basically chronicling their everyday lives. And you know that sounds boring. It does. It's got that written all over it. Oh, a manga about kids hanging out after school, thrilling. But that's exactly what makes it work. It doesn't try to be flashy, it just nails the details. You get those little slices of their lives, hanging out, messing around, spending too much money on cards, and at the heart of it you get this kind of awkward romance bubbling away. It's never too dramatic, overblown, or cheesy. It's always just there. And it shapes the way the kids interact with each other. If I had to sum it up in one line, it's less Yu-Gi-Oh! With holograms and more, what if your friends just went down to the card shop, bought a booster pack, and then spent 2 hours arguing over who pulled the coolest rare? The characters. They're not perfect. They're awkward, messy, sometimes dumb, and that's why you care about them. You've got a slightly clueless protagonist who's trying to figure out where he fits in. You've got friends who tease each other, push each other, sometimes in good ways, sometimes not so much. And then, of course, the love interest. Basically, teenage life wouldn't be complete without at least one crush to completely overthink everything. The coolest thing is they aren't static archetypes. They're actually changing over time. The way they talk, the way they react, even the way they see each other is evolving, and you can already see that in Volume 4. In a weird way, you feel like you're kind of growing up alongside them. It's not just one eternal gag loop like a sitcom. It's a coming-of-age story disguised as a slice of life. Now let's talk about the setting, because Tokyo in 1998 is basically a character all of its own. You get to the tail end of the 90s, where fashion that was just starting to translate, the early internet creeping into our homes, and technology that makes me jealous even now. Seriously, Japanese kids in 98 were walking around with sleek flip phones with cameras, while I was dealing with a Nokia brick that could survive a nuclear war but could only play Snake. Don't even get me started on texting. If you know, you know. Pressing the number 7 4 times just to get an S. But the time you sent hello, the conversation was already over. Meanwhile, the characters are trading magic cards, hanging out in their favourite stores and restaurants, slowly watching the world change around them. It's nostalgia, even if you didn't live it, because all those little details make it feel real. You can almost smell the cigarette smoke in the arcades, and hear the sound of booster packs being ripped open. Now let's get personal. Let's be real. I was 13 in 2001, so my teenage years were the early 2000s, not the late 90s. But reading this feels familiar in a way I didn't expect. The awkward conversations with friends, the dumb jokes, the little bursts of freedom when your parents weren't looking. All of that's there, and it's weirdly comforting. Like, even though I wasn't in Tokyo, even though I wasn't hanging out in gaming shops playing Magic, I did try, it didn't end very well. I get it. That feeling of being stuck between childhood and adulthood. Not really knowing where you are going, but also thinking you have all the time in the world. That is a universal thing. And the shocking realization is once you hit your 30s, you realize you don't have all the time in the world. Time moves forward no matter what we do. And honestly, I'm a little jealous of these teens in this manga. Not because their lives were necessarily better, but because of the cooler tech. The cooler city. And fashion. And they got to play Magic with an actual social circle. Meanwhile, I was over here buying booster packs in secret because no one at my school wanted to touch anything other than a soccer ball or a PlayStation. The struggle was real. So why does Destroy Humans They Can't Be Regenerated work as well as it does? Honestly, because it doesn't try too hard. It's not chasing trends. It's not overcomplicating itself with big supernatural hooks. It's just let the characters live. The rom-com elements don't feel forced. They feel awkward in exactly the way teenage romance is awkward. You've never screamed "nobody talks to me" because they do, or at least they did. There's a lot there. It feels frighteningly real. And that's why the title is hilarious to me. You expect an end-of-the-world drama. Instead you get teenagers buying soda and worrying about who likes them. But that's kind of perfect, right? Because when you're that age, a crush doesn't feel like Actually, it does feel like the end of the world. That one conversation, that one text message, that one game night felt like life or death, and in small ways it's apocalyptic, and this manga captures it so well. I also want to say it is a direct reference to a Magic the Gathering card, destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. So yeah, Destroy All Humans They Can't Be Regenerated is one of those hidden gems that I think more people should check out, even if you're not into Magic the Gathering. Volume 4 just came out in English, and I've read them all, 18 volumes by the way, in Japanese. Well, Japanese mixed with my own Japanglish. Japanese is not my strong point when it comes to languages. But now it's the perfect time to get it. It's slice of life done right. Funny, warm, nostalgic, and so deeply human that it sneaks up on you. It's not about saving the world, but it's about something just as important. What it feels like to live in a world during a very specific moment in time. For me, it's like looking back at my teenage experience, even though that wasn't quite mine. But it's still recognizable, and that's rare. If you're tired of big flashy stories and just want something grounded that makes you smile and maybe even tear up a little, this manga is for you. And hey, if nothing else, you get to live vicariously through these teenagers who had way cooler phones than the rest of us did. And yeah. So if you made it this far, remember to like and subscribe and tell me what you think in the comments below. I'm really curious. Let's talk about our teenage years. Let's get nostalgic. Let's have fun. And remember, Patreon, Substack, and YouTube memberships are available. I do a podcast and some other stuff that's on those that's really just for the people of the tidy whities. You will understand what that means if you join. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.